Let's take a look at some projected free agent wide receiver contracts. This is from Pro Football Focus. We'll do a couple of them at a time. So they say Mike Williams will sign for a projected 4 years, $68 million. $17 million per year, $38 guaranteed. Allen Robinson, 3 years, $48 million, $16 million per year, $30 guaranteed. And Michael Gallup, 2 years, $25 million, $12.5 per year, $14 million guaranteed. Important to note, Gallup coming off an ACL, which likely kind of pushes that down a little bit as far as the contract goes. When you look at those, that's the reason that paying a guy like Jarvis Landry $15 million or $15 million plus doesn't make sense. Because you're going to, in order to get a threat on the outside, a true number one, you're going to have to pay more than that.
Yeah, and that's the biggest difference is that on top of that, a lot of those guys, you mentioned Mike Williams, he had some great success on the outside, winning those jump balls. And at that point, that's something that you haven't necessarily seen from this receiving core. Mike Williams, I think, is an interesting case for somebody to sign in free agency. Again, I think that he's somebody who's a great red zone threat, great jump ball, contested catch type of receiver. I don't think that he's a fit here in Cleveland as well. Allen Robinson is somebody that I'm interested in. But I wonder, instead of the 3-year deal I know that they're projecting, I almost wonder if he would take almost a 1-year deal, with a little bit more guaranteed, and then at that point try to retest the market afterward. Because let's be honest, when it comes to Allen Robinson, and I'm not saying this because of my last name. I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I love Allen Robinson, but please God, get him some better quarterback play. Going back to college, he's played with Christian Hackenberg, Blake Bortles, Nick Foles, and Mitch Trubisky, and now a little bit of Justin Fields toward the end of last year. Again, Justin Fields might be the most talented player that he's played with, but at the same time, he also is still a rookie. He's still learning. And so at that point, again, all of these different quarterbacks that he's played with, I want to see what he can do with better quarterback play. And so, I think that he could be somebody who's interesting to bring in free agency. And then looking at Michael Gallup, I mentioned him earlier as well. I think that he's somebody who can stretch the field, especially. And you have to remember, he's not going to be a number one for you. He's going to be a great complementary piece. And again, it depends on what number he's going to end up taking. And that's where I'm curious as to see how much that ACL affects that contract number for him and how much he's going to be able to make this offseason going into that, with that being said.